everyone, welcome back to my channel. Wow, we need a tan. I think this is the lightest I've been, and that's because I am always home. So today I wanted to share with you 4 healthy and productive habits that you can incorporate into your life. And these 4 things, thinking about these 4 things, have truly helped and shaped my productivity, my healthy lifestyle, and making sure I have a balanced work life. I could really go on and on about all the different habits I think are really good for us, but I found that it can all be narrowed down into these 4 things. Here we go. The first thing is to make sure you make it a habit to take care of yourself physically. What are your physical habits? Do you sleep well? Do you sleep late? Do you sleep early? What time do you wake up? All the things that have to do with your body, that is physical.
Physical habits include how we eat. What has truly changed my life is looking at food as fuel. A big part of making sure we're productive is making sure our bodies have enough energy to get us through all of the work that we have to do. I always start off by taking probiotics on an empty stomach because your gut is like your second brain. In terms of eating, I look at what nutrients are in my drinks and my food. One time I remember reading the nutrition labels on a ton of different green juices, and I found that so many of them actually didn't have much fiber or vitamins. Get into the habit of reading what you're putting into your body. Of course, life is all about balance, so we don't want to obsess over nutrition labels, but simply be empowered with the knowledge. Taking care of our bodies physically is a habit that takes time. I found that working out 3 or 4 times a week is a schedule I can keep consistently. And if I feel like eating a giant burrito, then I'm going to eat a giant burrito. Again, life is all about balance.
And I find that when I am more active, when I am really taking care of my body, I am then much more productive because I have the energy to do all of the things that I need to do. Now, taking care of yourself physically can fall into many different categories. It could be exercise, or it could be eating, or it could be drinking water, or it could be sleeping. But these are all the ways that I try to keep in mind what are the habits that I have in terms of my physical body. Next is emotionally. What type of habits do I have with my emotions? Do I tend to be very angry? Do I tend to be lackadaisical? What is it? What types of habits do I have when I'm irritated? What do I do? How do I act? And to make sure that I take care of myself emotionally is to be around other people. Usually we won't tell ourselves, hey, that wasn't so great. But if you do it in front of someone else, we're a little more conscientious of how we act and how we're behaving. Again, with proper social distancing, I like to make sure that I see my friends as long as I know they haven't been anywhere else, and we wear a mask, of course.
As an introverted person, it's very easy for me to just want to be home by myself quite often, but my therapist and I talked about how actually I feel very rejuvenated when I get to talk to other people and just engage with my friends.
But this is just making sure that emotionally I am taking care of myself and also creating habits of lasting relationships and friendships because it does take work. Next is, what types of habits do you have for your mental health? How are you learning? How are you engaging in your studies? What do you do when it comes to your mind? And for me, I like to read as often as I can, and I've made it a point where every single day, even if it's 5 pages, I am going to read something. It's so easy for us to put reading to the end of the to-do list, but I find that being intentional and starting early in the morning is the best way to make sure you're getting what you need for your mind.
Getting into the habit of reading and constantly being a lifelong learner definitely takes time, and something that I found works for me is picking a book and then only reading 5 pages a day. I found that I can consistently read 5 pages no matter how busy I am. So when it comes to the habit of reading, it's really important to stay consistent. So find a system that works for you and then utilize it every single day no matter what. I also find that when I read first thing in the morning, I am refreshed and I'm ready to go. But if I wait until the end of the night, I'm more likely to not read. But reading is like exercising. It takes discipline and it takes consistency in order for you to see growth.
Another way is to always look at how are other people thinking about things, how are other people doing things. And this video is sponsored by Skillshare. And if you're looking for new ways to just learn something new, try something new, Skillshare has all these different classes.
Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people like you and me. You can explore Skillshare's workshops, classes, and a bunch of other things. Drawing, writing, and journaling can be great ways to help manage stress, practice mindfulness, and feel connected to one another too. One class I'm learning from is Ali Abdaal's Productivity Masterclass, Principles and Tools to Boost Your Productivity, in order to further understand what it means to be productive. Skillshare is a yearly subscription and it's less than $10 a month, but the first 1,000 people to use the link in my description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. So on top of reading or taking classes, I also like to read a lot of blogs online, especially Christian-related blogs, because for me, I find that I am growing and changing when I'm really rooted in God's Word. Another habit that I always like to keep in mind for my mental health is not to be on my phone too much. And I know there's so many things grabbing our attention, and it's always good to just be mindful of how long our screen time is.
Next is I look at what types of habits I have spiritually, and I know that may sound kind of funny. What I mean by that is I am very intentional with making sure I take time to read my Bible, pray, and talk to Jesus. It's like any other relationship. Of course, I'm going to talk to God and talk to Him about everything going on in my life, even if He already knows. He loves to hear it. And so for me, having that connection with God helps me to feel like, okay, all the things I have to do today, it is for Him, and I'm going to give it my all for Him. Not because I have to, but because I can. And today is a gift.
I find that I worry and I get anxious when I focus my attention on myself. One of my biggest emotional habits is trying to control situations to ensure that my environment is free of chaos. Yet, that pressure can be a lot. The Bible is not a book on rules or how to be perfect. It's about incredibly imperfect people who need to be rescued by a perfect God. One of my favorite pastors and authors said this: "The gospel is this: we are more sinful and flawed in ourselves than we ever dared believe. Yet at the very same time, we are more loved and accepted in Jesus Christ than we ever dared hope." Getting into the habit of taking care of my spiritual health is really necessary for me to feel grounded and to remember that I am a part of a bigger picture. We all are a part of a bigger picture. We're all here for a reason, for a purpose, and I really hope that everyone finds the answers that they're looking for.
I think it is so important for all of us to really tap into what makes us feel grounded. Why are we here? What are you doing? And to really think about those things and ultimately take some time to reflect for yourself. All in all, I feel like these are all self-care tips, but it could also be, what types of habits have you created in each of these categories so that you can be productive, so that you can do all the things that you need to do because you feel like your cup is full. And that is something that I am working on this season, is how do I fill my cup? Because I thought sitting on the couch and watching Korean dramas was filling my cup, but really it wasn't. I really thought that was relaxing, and it was. But it was more like I was distracting myself. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe and smash that like button for me. And I'll see you later. Bye.